Alright, welcome back to Hot Topics TV, y'all. You already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on Hot Topics TV. Let's get right into this topic right here, though. A 14-year-old. 14-year-old, he's pretty big. I've seen the pictures of him as a big dude, but he was 14. And he went to an amusement park and he lost his life in Florida. We'll get into all the details of the story in a second. But do you remember growing up, going to the amusement parks, getting on all the rides, being excited? My favorite ride was the Gravitron. And it was the Gravitron because it was secured. The Gravitron, you're inside of a room that spins and you get stuck to the wall. And you can then maneuver yourself to be upside down, sideways, all kinds of poses. And then when the room stopped spinning, your ride was over. There was nowhere to fall, no great distance to hurt yourself. And I think that was a healthy dose of fear that I've carried my whole life. This ain't the first time that somebody fell off one of these rides and died. And now that I'm grown and I've got kids of my own, and we go to these amusement parks, I'm always afraid. So when they say, "Dad, let's get on this ride," oh, you scared. You know how children do, peer pressure you. I still say no. First of all, I'm too grown to be peer pressured, especially by children who I'm trying to teach, not to yield to peer pressure. Anyways, this story says, a 14-year-old boy who was riding the world's tallest freestanding drop tower in Orlando, Florida, died in a shocking fall from the attraction as witnesses watched in horror on Thursday. First of all, just the fact that it is considered the world's tallest anything, I'm not getting on it. Now, following the tragic incident, loved ones remember the boy, his name was Tyre Sampson, as an aspiring athlete, a good student, and a caring son. Two lawyers, including internationally recognized civil rights attorney Ben Crump, announced that they would be representing the family. I can say at this point, no one's probably going to be going to jail over this. Just some money is going to be paid out. Deputies received a 911 call and they responded to Icon Park shortly after 11 p.m., where witnesses said someone had fallen from the free fall ride. The Orange County Sheriff's Office said in a statement, Tyre was transported to a hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Several witnesses who were on scene called 911 at the same time to report what they saw. One woman told the dispatcher that Sampson was face down and he wasn't responsive, and he appeared to have broken his arms and his legs. Another woman told 911 dispatcher that the teen had no pulse. The investigation into the death is ongoing, Orange County Sheriff John Mina said, but preliminary information indicates that it appears to be a terrible tragedy. He said that the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs is investigating the safety of the ride. Tyre seemed to have slipped out of his seat when the ride braked as it approached the bottom of its descent, according to a witness account to a 911 dispatch. He slipped out of his seat. Video suggests that he was propelled from his seat at a high speed as the ride slowed from its descent. The ride will be closed indefinitely, said John Stein, the spokesperson for the Slingshot Group of companies which owns and operates the ride. Stein said that there have been no other safety issues with that ride since it opened. Needless to say, we're devastated, Stein said. Our hearts go out to this young man's family, and we are cooperating with the police department and other local agency in this ongoing investigation, which I cannot comment any further at this time on. Icon Park is an entertainment complex in Orlando, Florida that includes amusement park rides as well as shopping, dining, and an aquarium, a Madame Toussaint wax museum, and other attractions. You know, one of those places that children and teenagers would go and just lose their mind in a day of having fun. Or that's what it was supposed to be. In 2021, a maintenance technician who was not properly hooked up to a safety device plunged 225 feet to his death at a neighboring ride at the park. That was on the 450-foot tall Star Flyer swing ride, it's called. Sampson was visiting a friend's family in Florida from his home in Missouri. Mina told the press on Friday, "We can't imagine what they're going through. As a father with boys who go on rides and who frequent amusement parks a lot, you know, it's just a tragic situation." The ride opened in Icon Park in center of Orlando's entertainment district just last year. And according to a January release from the park, 30 riders at the time can rise to the top, tilt forward, and then free fall nearly 400 feet at the speeds reaching over 75 miles per hour. Chill, that's not my kind of ride. The ride tilting forward increases the importance of a properly functioning harness due to the G-forces riders experience at the bottom, said Ken Martin, a Virginia-based amusement park safety analyst who works with parks, fair, government entities, insurance companies, and attorneys. Videos and photos of the rides show no secondary safety belt that would secure the over-the-shoulder harness. Martin told USA Today that such a belt is generally a standard part of a ride safety in similar attractions, but there was none on this one where this young man fell. In a clip published by West 2 News, a person riding the drop tower can be heard questioning its restraint before it took off. "Is this safe? This don't feel like it's safe." Martin said that he had reviewed videos from the incident and that he added a safety belt, that a added safety belt could have been life-saving in this situation. He also said that the incident and underscores the importance of ride operators properly checking each individual to make sure that each person is strapped in securely. "We're supposed to take them to the edge and bring them back safely," Martin said. "That's not life. You're not supposed to die for no reason." Tyrell's father, Yarnell Sampson, he told Fox 13 News that his son was visiting Florida from St. Missouri, with his football team. And if you look at the young man, there are pictures out there with him in his football uniform, but if you look at him, he looked like he would be a good lineman. I mean, he's big. He said that the teen was panicking and the teen was uncomfortable as soon as the ride began. Now, that's not much of anything, because most people who ride this ride are panicking and are uncomfortable as soon as the ride began. However, he said that's when he started freaking out, and he was explaining to his friend that was sitting next to him, "I don't know, man. I don't know. If I don't make it down, please tell my mommy and daddy I love them." That's what the father told the news station that his son's friend who was sitting next to him said. For him to say something like that, he must have felt something. The teen family will be represented by civil rights attorney Ben Crump and Bob Hillard. These lawyers have announced that this family is shocked and heartbroken and at a loss for their son, Crump said. A fun theme park visit with his football team should not have ended in tragedy. Attorney Bob Hillard, who is representing Tyre's mom, Nakia Dodd, said in a statement that families should be able to trust these theme parks to keep their children safe. Every parent who sees this horrific video can't help but to think the same thing. That could have been my child. I'll tell you what, I'm thinking that could have been me. That one time that I gave in to peer pressure from my children and got on one of those crazy rides with them, and then that could have been my last day. Man, listen. Crump said in Saturday's statement that Tyre was a star 8th grader student, a star football player, and an A student. This young man was the kind of son that every parent hoped for. He was an honor roll student. He was an aspiring athlete, had dreams of making it big in football. He was a kind-hearted person and he cared about other people. His father told CNN that Tyre was an honor roll student who dreamed of becoming a professional football player and described his teen son as a kindred, kind-hearted spirit and just a big teddy bear, a gentle giant. I want to know what really happened. Why a 14-year-old young man with a bright future has been taken away from us, he told CNN. Wow. You know what? Let me close this video by saying this. I remember my grandmother always said, if it was made by humans, it can malfunction, and it will break or malfunction. Let that sink in. The next time you see one of these rides, if it was made by humans, it can malfunction, and it can and will malfunction. This is too sad. I got too much to say. No amount of money that they sue for and get. These companies, by the way, they're covered by insurance money. So they'll be able to make a grand big old payout and still be in operation. No amount of money is going to bring this young man back though. And no amount of money is going to bring his mom and his dad comfort. The horrific way in which their son died. I'm thinking maybe he was too big for the ride. Therefore, whatever harness was there to hold him in wasn't holding him in properly from the beginning. And then we have to ask, the person who is operating the ride, did they check his harness to make sure that he was properly strapped in? Last time I went to the amusement park, they had, and it was in Orlando, and it was about 2 weeks ago, they had children or young people that looked like children that were working at these rides. And they were checking each person's locking device to make sure you're properly locked in before you go up. And I did notice them being a bit lackadaisical. Matter of fact, I noticed them instructing some younger kids to lock yourself in, but they themselves never checked to see if it was actually locked in. Y'all be careful out there. Life is precious, and it can be gone in a blink of an eye, in a moment of what was supposed to be fun. I'll catch y'all on the next video, man. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.